Welcome back. What's happening, YouTube? Let's get set up. There we go. Hey, welcome in. We'll get this show on the road. Just a few moments. Ooh, Friday Tweekstream. Yeah, who's ready for a Friday night Tweekstream? Soggy, rainy weekend. But that don't stop us. Nah. Rain or shine, we're determined to tweak. Who's ready for some tweaking? Let's see what's going on here. Got that. Yo! What's the matter you with the first comment? He's got the #1 crown. Way to go, buddy. That's the way to do it. Just jump in there with the big old yo. That got my attention. Okay, let's see if I learned how to do this right. Oh yeah. Load up the chat. There we go. We're set to go. Kind of early for a live stream, but there is a late Savannah Bananas game, so I didn't want to interfere with that, because I know how many of you love that Savannah Bananas. Okay, what else are we looking for here? Let's just see if there's anything on YouTube. This is YouTube, right? Yeah, 9 p.m. Central. Savannah Bananas versus the Firefighters at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Seattle, Washington. All right, just keep an eye on that. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. It's been an exciting few days. Spell check always wants to do that. Put a D in my name? That's odd. I never get spell checked on that. So yeah, it's been just kind of a lazy day today. Yesterday was a big old busy day again. Dropped off, or just went to visit the guys at the auction. There's a possibility we're going to have an auction tomorrow, but it's pretty rainy weather forecast overnight and into tomorrow, so I might postpone it till October 4th, which is fine by me. So what did I do? I ran to, yeah, yesterday was a day of running around because I got my check from the house sale, so I needed to go deposit it. So I was running around from this place to that to see who would take a big check like that. So finally got somebody to take it, so which is nice. So that's all squirreled away. And then I ran to Winnipeg to drop off some stuff in my storage unit. And then I ended up sticking around to help my buddy try to get his truck running. He's got pretty much the same truck as I got, only he's got the Lariat package, so it's a little fancier. But we've been trying to get his truck to crank over, and this thing has a little hot wire from the starter. You go straight to from the battery power to the starter. As long as the key is off and the fuel pump is not running, it's not going to start. It just cranks. So the engine cranks, the starter works, the whole starter circuit is fine. But then you go with the key and nothing. So I couldn't even get my scan tool to read any of the PCM codes. PCM is what does PCM stand for? Power control module on Ford. Some call it ECM, electronic control module. Some just call it the computer, car's computer. But the PCM was not talking to the scan tool. All I could get was faults for the hybrid electrical module and the generic electrical module. Like it was just weird. So I'm thinking, man, this wiring on this thing is screwed. This is gonna take forever to try to track down this problem. And so we tried charging the battery. Maybe the battery didn't have enough juice to talk to the scan tool through the computer. I had a computer from my parts truck, so I said, well, maybe it's your computer. Let's switch that out. So we did that quickly. Still nothing. And then I thought, you know what? There's got to be something simple here. And what it turned out is the whole fuse box was no good. And so we had the fuse box from my parts truck. It was sitting on his passenger seat. I said, let's just switch the fuse box just to see, because I tested a couple of fuses and there's no power at this fuse, there's no power at this fuse, and there should be battery power to these fuses pretty much all the time. And found a couple of relays that plug into the fuse box. Like, this one isn't doing nothing. Like, it should be operating something. So we had no communication, and there was like, in a modern vehicle, there's a number of different communication networks. There's the OBD2, scanning system, but then there's different communications buses, and the J1850 was non-communicative. There was another communication network that was just completely dead. So like that, we're so screwed if this is a wiring problem. But as it turns out, the previous owner of this truck, he was switching some parts out. So the fuse box was one of them. So he took the good fuse box, put the nasty one in the truck that my buddy bought, or is buying. He's kind of in the process of buying. There was go get him! Get him! Get him, boy! Did you get him? He's friendly. Max! Hey! Off! He likes jumping on car doors and then scratching the shit out of them. Okay. More tweakers to join the party. Max! Max! Yeah, I don't want him scratching your doors up. Yeah, I see that. He'll get out of the way, like you won't hit him. No, you won't run him over. He's dumb, but not that dumb. All right. You neighbors or something? Tweak on, people. So yeah, these communication networks were just not talking to my scan tool, and I thought we're cooked. And so we started finding these parts. So there was a brake switch, brake pedal switch, which you're not going to start nothing. You couldn't even get it out of gear. So I found the brake pedal switch from my old truck. We used that, kind of jimmied it up because his is a little different from my old truck. Just his pedal setup. We what else did we switch? Well, we got the new fuse box in, got all the right fuses in the right places, and finally was able to get some computer codes on my scan tool. It started talking again. So I'm like, that son of a gun. Like he gave you a shitty fuse box and didn't tell you. So fortunately that was an easy fix, but we were getting these ignition fault codes. So we were able to isolate the problem. Like this is the beauty of modern computer electronic systems in cars, is it's a process of elimination. So if there's power to the fuse box and you're trying to control a module and the module tests good, well, the problem is between the fuse box and the module. If you've got power to the module and the module's not working the way, the problem is the module. So it's just process of elimination. It's super simple once you get the hang of it. And so this ignition fault code would not go away. So the problem is either in the ignition module itself or the key switch. And I think it's the ignition module, which is, again, a super easy fix. I've got one sitting in storage, but I have no idea where it is. I had a quick look for it, but I couldn't find it. So we'll hook them up with an ignition module, and then are we buffering? Nope, we're good. Okay. And then hopefully that's going to get his truck to fire up. So I'm just trying to book an appointment in my favorite scrapyard and scoop up some parts for him, drag him back to Winnipeg, and get him on his way. While I'm doing all that, what's the matter with you is trying to pollinate these cucumbers because the pollinators are absent or not doing their jobs. Well, are you paying them well? Quite frankly, I feel like a bit of a cucumber violator. Well, I can't say I can relate, but my compassion is extended to you in this time of need. No pollinators, huh? It's one thing around our area. We had plenty of bees and all kinds of pollinators. The hummingbirds were around. You had a pretty good job. The pollinators were doing their jobs. And I guess a trick to that too in early spring, don't cut your dandelions down. Because before a lot of the early spring growth occurs, those bees are just coming out of dormancy over the winter. And dandelions are really the first things that come up, and the pollen out of those dandelions keeps them going. So, so to those of you out there, I know not in this crowd, that hates the sight of dandelions, just let them go for a few weeks till everything catches up. And I guess what goes hand in hand with that, if you don't want the dandelions to take over, is leave your grass a little taller, because those dandelions, you've seen those fluff balls, well, that's the seeds. If they can't get to the soil, well, they can't take root. And so so if you leave your grass a little longer, it's going to be greener, it's going to be more vibrant, it's going to be more green. Although what's the matter, you're in the Pacific Northwest, so it's pretty green out there regardless. But yeah, those dandelions provide key energy to especially the bees in early spring. So there you go. And is there a lag in the chat or what? I'm not going to repeat myself, am I? I'm assuming there's a delay. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't want no delay in the chat. Because that's tweaky. Live chat replay, live chat summary. Oh, no. No, we're not in slow mode. Okay, that's not checked off anyway. I don't know, seems like the chat's a little slow. Whatever. But yeah, let those dandelions hang around for a few weeks and then cut them down. Once you got some other blooms happening in your yard or your garden. So yeah, let's go back a couple of days on the travel blog. I tried to upload a short on Wednesday. And I wasn't able to post it until yesterday. For whatever reason, my upload speed was shit on Wednesday, and so this little short 2-minute video, it was taking forever to upload, and I think that might have caused buffering on Wednesday night live stream, where it kept buffering over and over, and I kept restarting, and it just wasn't happening. So I posted this short, meet my neighbors, and it was some motocross enthusiasts enjoying the motorsports park here, just a quarter mile down the road, ripping around the track. And I thought maybe there was going to be a race this weekend, but it turns out they have Wednesday practice every week. And so there were 2 big races here. I think the last one was in August. And so my location here, it's 4 miles by road. I guess closer to 3 miles as the crow flies. And from 4 miles, well, let's call it 3 miles away, 3.5 miles, you could hear the races, and they would blast this music during the race, like loud rock and roll music. And you could hear it from my place, like just, oh, they're having a race. So I was amazed that sound would carry that far. Or it just goes to show how much volume they were pumping out of this place. So you got took care of the interlopers. Well, good. All right. So yeah, my neighbors were just visiting for the evening, and so no race this weekend. Still waiting to see if anybody shows up here this weekend. There's a whole row of RVs over there, but it's been completely quiet all week. So nobody's hanging out to tweak. It's been very lonely for me and Maxie. And okay, what else? On Wednesday, I went through a line in the water, and I had posted the thumbnail for Wednesday night, me holding up a little fish like this, little walleye pickerel. I guess the species name is commonly called a walleyed pike. So it's not a northern pike, but it's a walleye. What part was racist? I'm a racist, so be it. And so that was when did I check that out? Wednesday morning? Or no, I think that was Tuesday night. I snagged that little guy. And that was like right behind this cottage, like just down this steep slope to the water's edge. And then Wednesday morning, I went back out and was catching more of these little guys, just the length of a cigarette, not much longer, like not even a quarter pound, but there's tons of them. You got walleye in Oregon? Okay. Maybe it's you're having trouble catching them because they're in there. They're all over the prairies here. So that's the prized game fish for eating. Like, it's very nice, tasty, tender white meat. And they grow to a good size here. The trophy size, we call it a Master Angler Award. I think it's at 28 inches to get recognized for a master angler in that species. No, it's walleye. We got perch here as well. The perch have a little rounder body. The walleyes are long and streamlined, where they have a more tapered, whereas perch are kind of wider at the dorsal fin. What'd you see, buddy? Tweakers? Go get them. Damn tweakers. So Wednesday morning, I went to a different part. Again, just a couple of, well, let's say 50 yards from the site I tried Tuesday night, and no word of a lie. Every cast, I was getting a bite or a fish. And it's sort of like, okay, well, there's fish here. Maybe there's bigger ones. But this creek is maybe 3 feet deep. What is it, boy? Hi, Jody. Welcome in. Good to see you, as always. Go get them tweakers. Did you get them? So I'm like, almost like, this is no fun. because all I could find for bait was night crawlers. As none of the local places have minnows here, but these little fries were just hammering the night crawlers. So you guys got smallmouth bass. There's lots of smallmouth in the lakes around here as well. Well, not around here, but in Manitoba. But we've gone smallmouth fishing. Those are pretty exciting to catch. Bass are very fatty and oily, though. They're tasty. I don't mind them. And so I know you guys wouldn't believe me that you're catching on every cast. So yesterday was a busy day. I didn't have time for any fishing. So I got home fairly late. But then today woke up and it was kind of trying to rain all day. So went to town, took care of a couple of things, was trying to get a hold of people. They were all ignoring me. So yeah, I don't think there's anything in the quarry. I could try, but I don't think they stock that with anything. Could be wrong. Well, we'll give it a try. We'll give it just to appease you. But today, when I got back in the afternoon, I figured, well, it's kind of drizzling rain, and I'm here to relax a bit anyway. So I grabbed the pole again, and then went for a little drive. So yeah, a couple 100 yards that way, and there's great quad trails and walking trails all along the creek shore. And so I was looking for wider, deeper pools that might carry some bigger fish. And so I found a few spots, and same thing, just every cast, fish, 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 but just these little squeakers. So when the weather improves, I'll set up the tripod and show you what the fishing is like on this creek. It's hilarious. It's not relaxing because they're going after these. You're constantly rebaiting your hook. So, but it's fun. It's fishing. Oregon's record bluegill came from an old rock quarry pond. Interesting. Well, like I say, I'd be surprised if they stock this, but who knows? So that was today. So we'll get some strictly fishing in. Maybe Sunday or Monday. Looks like I'll be probably rebooking this cottage for a couple of extra nights. No lie. God's honest truth. And so yeah, that's the thing. I'm looking for where are the big fish, because if there's little fish, there's got to be bigger ones. And there's beaver dams all up and down the creek, and some places it's very shallow. Some place has more weeds. So I was thinking maybe in the weeds I might find some northern pike, but it's harder fishing because you're getting snags and crap all over your hook. Are you done? It's got a lot of pent-up energy, clearly. And so, I mean, I just kept throwing them back because I didn't need any extra work for myself today cleaning fish. But next time I go, I'll probably keep half a dozen and just gut them and throw them whole on the fire. and grill them up, or throw them in a pan with some garlic butter, and be fantastic. So I've got food that I got to eat before I think about gutting fish. So that was that, and so I'm still waiting on this RV recreational vehicle, my new home for the homeless. And yeah, I'm actually enjoying this homelessness so far. It's easy when you have a little bit of resource. I guess when you're stone cold broke, it's another story. But this has been pretty good. So what else have we got? You're coming Monday? Yeah, come on down. Suitcase? There's a better way to hold fish than a suitcase, but if that's what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you. But on a different note, I heard an interesting conversation this week, and in person with a local farmer, and then in one of Bow's streams this afternoon, he was always talking about inflation, right? Well, in that stream, I said, wait till you see beef prices in the grocery store come 2026, because there's a shitstorm about to happen. And so this conversation I had on yesterday morning, I was loading up some stuff at my neighbor's where I'm storing a few things, and she got a small delivery of some hay bales for her animals, so I helped them unload that. And the guy who was delivering them, he's a local farmer. He's got a small herd of breeding cows. I think he said he's got 25 cows. He's probably got a bull too. But what's been going on here, I'm going to pull up cattle prices. Just to give you an idea. What I'm talking about here. No, that's not the one. Livestock. There we go. Buddy, all of YouTube can hear you. So, as of the last auction, oh, they didn't have. Okay, we'll go with these anyway. So they got the price on Holstein dairy cross steers. So that's typically a beef cow crossed with a dairy cow. A lot of the dairy farmers, they'll have like an Angus bull, and they crossbreed with their milking cows, the dairy cows, and then you'll get a Holstein Angus cross versus, say, a purebred Angus, or a purebred Charolais, or purebred Simmental. There's all these different breeds, but for a lot of guys ship their calves at 600 pounds, and I've got prices here from 400 pounds to 1,000 pounds. And so let's just go with a 600 pound calf is averaging $5.20 to $5.40 a pound. So those are animals that are being sold right now, being purchased by either farmers or feedlots or ranchers, where they'll take them to the finishing weight, which is probably around 1,500 pounds, let's say. So it costs a few bucks to get an animal from 600 to 15, and they put on so many pounds a day. And the older they get, the more weight they put on. A larger animal will put on about 5 pounds a day if they're on good pasture or on hay. And here we got to overwinter them. We don't have pasture throughout the year. But guys bale hay and they feed their animals through the winter. And a lot of these beef cows, they're pretty much grass raised or grass fed. And so that $5.20, let's just say average of $5.30 a pound. Well, that price is even more than this time last year. Or okay, even in the springtime, they were probably around, let's say, $4.50 a pound for that same animal. So the prices have just been going up steadily since last summer. And before the price increase really hit, the farmers were getting a good return. They were probably getting around $3, let's say $3 a pound. When I was there, I was working there about 3 years ago. It was about $2.50 a pound or less for that same 600-pound feeder. And so to go from 600 pounds to 1,500 pounds, well, that takes time. And so what you're seeing in the grocery stores right now are animals that are being butchered that were purchased at $3 a pound here in Canada. So I imagine the prices are corresponding in the States or whatever region you're in. And so beef prices in the stores have been going up. I mean, compared to, say, at the end of COVID, the prices kind of bottomed out after a while, and they've just kind of been steadily climbing. Now, I don't know the exact amount of time that it's going to take to get from 600 to 1,500 pounds butcher weight, but let's just say it's 9 months or 10. Let's just say it's a year, okay? So the price increases as of, say, last fall is when it really started going up steeply. Well, those animals are just about to be ready to be butchered come the end of this year or the beginning of 2026. And when those cheap butcher animals are all gone, well, then the processors, the abattoirs, the meat packing plants, they're going to be paying the inflated price. And as I say, the price has possibly doubled in a couple of years. And so that expensive beef is going to be butchered in the next few months. And when that hits the shelves, well, if you're a beef eater, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be pretty awful. Or the sticker shock is going to be incredible. So if you're still with me after all that farm talk and beef marketing discussion, it's pretty wild seeing the trends, and there's no indication that prices are gonna come back down. So there you go, travel blog and cattle market report with a dog barking in the background at tweakers that aren't even there anymore. What you barking at, buddy? And so that's invest in beef now. Yeah, I did pass by a place in Winnipeg the other day. They had 5 pounds of ribeye for $75. So next time I go to town, I think I'm gonna start stacking beef. For crying out loud, it's gonna be wild. It is gonna be wild. So the farmers have been doing well as far as getting a return on their investments. They're doing very well, but for years they were suffering with low prices. And so it was hunting license. That's a lot of work. I know where to get meat. But I hear what you're saying. That's one option. I'm not a huge fan of wild game as far as the 4-legged kind. It's tends to be a little lean. Brent's got the beef. Yeah. So yeah, just a word to the wise or a heads up. If you're into buying groceries, watch the prices on those meat coolers as they start to climb in 2026. It's gonna be a shitstorm. You're gonna be paying $15 just for a quarter pounder with beef. No fries, no drink. The combo is going to be $30. So, what else? I got some music today in my filthy little former farmer hands. It was all messed up. Who wants to see a music reveal? See here, a lot of the ungulates, which are animals with 4 stomachs, like a cow, they've got either chronic wasting disease or kind of like this encephalitis, like it's sort of like this mad cow disease. I almost don't trust those government bush cows anymore. Here is just my rant for the evening. After how many years of conservation efforts, the natural herd health of these, larger game species, it's just awful. It's just deplorable. And it's not from overhunting. It's from poor management of the resource. And so, yeah, you buy your hunting license and who knows where that money goes. Like, it's a crime. It's an absolute crime. The way our natural resources are completely mismanaged. In some places, the deer population is completely devastated by disease or predators. Like it's just like the people in charge have no clue on how ecology works or anything. Yeah, CWD. And so I'm not interested in any of that wild bush game. Unless maybe you're way far north, but it's, again, like, how far are you going to travel for meat? Like 500 miles, 700 miles, 1,000 miles? Like, the economy of it just goes in the wrong direction very quickly. So. And what's the matter, music? Well, I didn't find your CD at the thrift store, but I did find a bunch of other CDs. So I was grabbing a couple of necessities. I kind of figured out this homeless thing, because like there's no laundry here, and I guess I could wash clothes in the lake, but a lot of the clothes I brought from the old house, they were pretty worn and tattered and well used. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'll just go to the thrift store and buy shirts for $1. And so I bought a few shirts. I got another nice pair of hiking boots. And it was half off clothing sale today, so we have two pretty decent thrift stores in town. They've generally always got a good selection of clothing, housewares, all kinds of good stuff, furniture. And this shirt came from the thrift store. I paid top dollar for this. This was like $3. But, I mean, by the time you bag up your laundry, I think the nearest laundry here is, I could either go 10 miles that way or 20 miles that way. There's no laundromat in town that I'm aware of. Maybe there's one on the campsite here, but by the time you spend money on the soap and the quarters you're pumping into the machine and blah, 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 it's like it's just so much faster to chuck your dirty laundry and go buy a new shirt. So that's going to be my kind of strategy to manage my laundry for the time being. So we'll see how long that's practical. It might turn into a bad idea really fast, but who knows. Well, yeah, I showed you guys a few weeks ago, I picked up a bunch of classical music. That was from the other thrift store in town. So I got all this great classical stuff. It's packed away in storage. So I haven't even listened to any classical. But that was a good haul. But today I was at the competition thrift store. And so I'll check the CDs. The LPs they have there, there's nothing. It's all low German and choir music and like nothing produced in the last 40 years by any major record label. It's all just kind of weird stuff. So there was no vinyl that was desirable at all. But they got some CDs, so I was looking for CDs, and I saw this one caught my eye. Kim Mitchell Live, I Am a Wild Party. So this one, I don't know, this is one I grew up with back in the day. This is from 1990. Presidents of the United States of America. I thought there was just one president. What is this one called? I guess that's their debut. So check that one out. Bob Marley, Legend. From, well, it says copyright 1984. Is that one released? That's a good one. Highwayman. Lump. Yeah, Lump is on that one. This one from 1985. 99. Oh, it's kind of whatever. Let's go with 99. Truckin' Country. It's got 6 Days on the Road with Dave Dudley. Truck Driving Son of a Gun by Furlan Husky. White Lightning by Waylon Jennings. 500 Miles Away from Home by Bobby Bear. Working Man Blues by Merle Haggard. The Carroll County Accident by Porter Wagner. Let It Roll, Let It Rock by Mel McDaniel. Deck of Cards by T. Texas Tyler. Heart of Dixie by Tommy Overstreet. And King of the Road by Roger Miller. What do you think of my southern accent? Trucking country, folks. John Denver, the Unplugged Collection of Greatest Hits. So he's got all the ones we know and love. And then a completely different genre. They had some ska music. Gretchen Wilson, some country ska. She's apparently a redneck woman. She's here for the party. She appears to be a homewrecker. And yeah. And then Shania from Timmins, Ontario, no less. Good old Canadian girl. Greatest Hits. (2004). And then another Shania Up from 2002. So these were all 25 cents each. So I'd say that's a score. Brains. Did you say Brains? Well, what was that horror movie where the zombies were going for the brains? Brains. Welcome in, Jethro Miller. Lorata to you too, my friend. It is that Lorata kind of evening. Friday night, very soggy here in southeastern Manitoba. That's what we have. So apparently the Badger was restreaming me on Pump or something. I'll have to find out more what that Pump scam is all about. Let's start a tiny tweaker coin or something. What else was I doing? Today I was fiddling with that GoPro that was kindly donated, gifted. Shout out to Balmoral Roofing. And so I got it charging on the charger right now. I was reading up a little bit, so we'll put that thing to use. I'll have to figure out if I can live stream using that camera. Whether I don't think it's got it's probably best for recording. I don't know about, I guess you could just use it as a camera, but you've got your phone anyway, and you're gonna have to run a cord. Whatever, it might work out. But nice little camera unit with all these accessories. You can mount it on your handlebars, on your e-bike, or your scooter, or your I don't know. You can mount it on a lot of things. We had a minor windstorm here. I've been picking up bloody pine cones. Bloody pine cones? Why are they bloody? That's some windstorm. Were they just like piercing people through their center of chit mass and then coming out the other side all bloody? 2 full 60-gallon yard debris cans. 2 full of bloody pine cones. Like, that sounds like a biohazard there to me. But that's just me talking. So yeah, getting the GoPro fired up, or soon to be fired up. Maybe I can mount it on my fishing pole. You can see me cast. And yeah, I was getting back to the fish. These fish were just feeding aggressively. Like, all I was using, pole's put away. I don't know if you guys know what a spinner bait is, but it's just a little spoon, about the size of a cigarette butt, and it was gold colored. They come in multiple colors. I got a hammered silver one, a hammered gold one. I got one that looks like a little perch coloring, black, green, yellow, and orange. I got the old 5 of diamonds, and then I bought some jig heads. And I was just using the spinner with a night crawler on the hook. And as soon as that lure hit the water, as soon as the bait hit the water, they were on it. And I was casting maybe 40 feet at the farthest, and just pulling it in slow, and they're just going after it. Even after the worm had fallen off, they were still going after a bare hook. It's crazy how aggressive they were feeding. Well, here we call them spinners, walleye spinners. Where do I have them? I'll go get one. I gotta use the facility anyways. Talk amongst yourselves while I go get some lures and an empty bladder. What'd you find there, Mac? All right. Turns out the people in the white Dodge are tweaker fisher people as well. Oh. Cramped in here. Sorry about the earthquake. Yeah, I guess I could throw a pin. Well, I'm sure there's minnows in that quarry. So, this stuff is expensive. So this is what I mean by a spinner bait, or a spinner. It's got a little tiny spoon on it's probably a 50-pound test line, monofilament with a few beads on it, and I don't know what number hook that is, but it's a pretty big hook, especially for these little small fries. So I got, let's say, a silver one. I got a neon yellow and green, I've got the gold one on the hook, on the rod right now. Got red and white stripey. Then I bought some pink jig heads. I figured I was going to use jig heads with a bobber, but the creek is so shallow. Bought some snap, what do you call these? Snap clips, and yeah, some bobbers. And then I got this little, the original Bad Boys fancy jig head. So that's kind of the gear I'm using, and that little gold spinner. Just keep catching them one after another after another. I don't know what do you mean by a spreader? Like a bottom bouncer? I think maybe you're talking about a bottom bouncer. It's got like kind of this metal rod that keeps your bait off the bottom of the creek or the lake or whatever. But what I would do in the past, if we were trolling on a boat on a lake, is you would put little line weights on the monofilament leader, and that would bring the bait a little lower below the surface. But without any weights and the spinner and the worm, it just kind of when you're reeling in, it's coming in less than a foot below the surface of the water, and that's about all I need. If I let it sink, like, it'll sit on the bottom. So we're gonna put walleyes in the quarry now. Then in 3 or 4 years, when I'm in my 90s, I can return and catch big fish where no one knew there was fish. Ooh, you're thinking long term. 3 or 4 years. I guess you may have something there. That's it's a solid idea there, Wasamata. So that's it. Like, super easy fishing. What else has been super easy laundry solutions? Shout out to Banh Mi King Vietnamese restaurants. Hooked me up with excellent lemongrass beef sub sandwich last night, and a nice big bowl of deluxe pho or pho. So I'm gonna have leftovers for supper tonight. Well, the soup anyway. And then later on in the weekend, we'll see about having a fish fry. So there you have it. That's the travel blog update for this Soggy Friday. The pre-Savannah Bananas Tweaker travel blog extravaganza. Starting at 9 p.m. Central. Only on YouTube and possibly ESPN. And what else? I thought there was something else that I needed to tell you about. But the nice thing about this is if I forget to tell you something in one live stream, there's always another one coming up. Oh yeah, I got Got some nice jar of pickles that my friends gave me. I got 2 jars of pickles actually. So I got food galore here. I got too much food for a homeless person. Gotta admit, doing the same thing with my laundry. Go to the thrift store, find nice, good clothing. Yes, like that's what I'm fairly particular when I'm selecting clothing, and I found stuff with the original price tag still on it, like pairs of jeans, like good Levi's jeans, and I don't like stuff with ring around the collar or all worn or missing buttons or anything like that. So I find good stuff, and it's cheap, cheaper than laundry. And it's a pretty comfortable shirt. I mean, this jacket was a thrift store find. I probably paid $3 for that. So that, I mean, I haven't bought, well, I shouldn't say that. I buy new socks, I buy new underwear. I bought a new pair of shorts this summer because I forgot to pack a pair of shorts when I was on my way to the lake. So I bought shorts. I bought a new pair of, not flip-flops, but sandals, like just cheapo ones. So yeah, I rarely look to the retail stores for for my clothing needs. The thrift store has plenty of perfectly serviceable items that I'll get my use out of. And so yeah, I'm pretty well stocked up here. Man, I could live here, man. Like this is pretty amazing. Well, I am living here, but considering how to turn this into a long-term living solution is the RV park is only open until October 15th, so they do shut down for the winter. Last time I spent $90, and just like 7 of the items I bought were over $1,000 new, I'm assuming. So yeah, you find good stuff. Like, find leather jackets for $20 where they're regularly $500. Extremely peaceful here. Like I say, other than that motorbiking the other day, I thought there was going to be the roaring of motorbikes all weekend, but it was just practice day on Wednesday. Yeah, 501 Levi's for $3. I mean, that's not bad. I've done that. I mean, I don't know what these stuff is worth new, but even you go to Costco and you look at a pair of pants, like they're not cheap. So I don't know how people do it. Like, sure, there's inflation, but dang, just go to the thrift store. How could you spend $75 on a pair of pants? Like, especially me on the farm, like I was hard on clothes, shoes, and pants. Oh my goodness! Like shirts, you can find deals on shirts, but if you were spending $75 on a pair of jeans and it lasts you 6 months, or it's so soiled that you can't really wear it out anymore, like to go out, and that's just throwing money into a shithole, man. Crazy. But yeah, I've been doing the thrifting for at least 20 years. And the Canada geese are flying. They're out of here. They've had enough of this. They're looking to come down south, visit some of you guys. Marshall. I find great deals that would have been expensive. I know how to find bargains. One place I go found shampoo, only $2 would have been 13. Yeah, you gotta shop on sale, economize. $9 for Converse brand new. It's one thing I gotta replace my sneakers here. These ones are not falling apart, but they just look gross already. And sneakers are hard to come across at the thrift stores here. But always find good hiking boots or work boots. What's the matter? You had an eBay biz from 98 to 2005. I made an effing uniliving. Unaliving? Oh, I get you. You made a killing scamming people on eBay. Okay, why don't you just say it the way it actually you mean it? So. Ooh, eBay scammer. Nice. Well, good on you. Hey, everybody's got to have some kind of scam going, right? And so, yeah, my scam is going to be buying RVs in Manitoba and then driving them out west to British Columbia and selling them for 1,000% increase. Nursing, wearing out shoes, definitely got to find good deals on shoes. Yeah, being on your feet. Well, I don't have embedded chats. I mean, we could test your theory about using certain words, but surely the AI knows that making a killing on eBay is not actually unaliving somebody. Honest businessman. Well, I think you should maybe ask your customers. I know antique glass, pottery, china, metal items, art. Yeah, it's good to, that's a great skill to have though, is to be able to recognize value where you can sell, you know what you can sell stuff for, and if you could buy it much cheaper, that markup, that's your revenue, right? Jody, 12 hours a day on your feet. That's, oh, well, I mean, I've done that in various other vocations, but just as a nurse, 12 hours a day, day in, day out, or however many shifts you work, probably 4 shifts a week or 5 shifts a week. I don't know what if you're in a union or if there's regulations there on how much nurses, but nurses are definitely overworked here. They do back-to-backs, and yeah, finding comfortable shoes that are gonna hold up and be durable. I feel for you, girl. Used to be I could walk into any thrift store and walk out with $100, $150 worth of easily sellable china dinnerware to profit on, paying less than. Yeah. Not a good skill anymore, unfortunately. Google Lens. I don't know what Google Lens is. Oh, here come the Tweaker Fisher people. The Fisher folk. Is it caught their limit or is that somebody else? Oh, lots of traffic here. lots of days in and sometimes back to back covering midnight shifts. Call offs. Oh, yeah. Well, I've heard the stories. I think it's the same all over for nurses. Shout out to the nurses. I mean, yeah, healthcare. That's a whole other discussion. Google Lens will instantly identify about almost anything. So, yeah, well, I guess it depends on what niche you're in. If you're doing antiques and collectibles and glassware and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff that I've been buying, say at auction, it's like I know, like a lot of stuff I was buying because I wanted it for myself, and a lot of the older tools or equipment is much better than the new stuff you can buy nowadays at either the hardware store or, like, so much of the new equipment is just junk. Like, it's that planned obsolescence where you buy something from the 1970s or 80s and it stood the test of time and it works as good as it ever did, and it's going to last another 50 years. Like, I'm looking for that kind of longevity, especially in tools. But I cleared out so many of my items, and I made a fair amount reselling. I didn't buy it to plan to resell, but I know what stuff is worth, and so I charged what I felt people ought to be paying for it, because I did the hard work of finding the bargain. And yeah, there's a lucrative aspect to that if you can be a bit of a picker and find the deals. So, okay, so thrift stores are using it now and pricing accordingly. Yes, yeah. A lot of the thrift stores, especially in the larger centers, the big cities, like there's some big chains of stores here, and their prices have gone up like incredibly in the last 20 years. So it doesn't even make, I don't even go into those stores. Oh yeah, I had this, oh, it broke my heart to sell this, but this shop crane, this floor crane, and it was oversized. It was, I think I paid $250 for it, but I let the guy have it for the same price, because he had, well, it was the dude that helped me with the tractor the other day, so I was willing to give him a deal on certain things. But realistically, I could have sold that for $400 or more, just because I was looking at used ones on our quote-unquote Craigslist, and they wanted $250 used for like a 1-ton shop crane, and this one was easily a 3-ton. Plus it had an attachment for an engine mount, so you could bolt an engine to it and work on the engine and use the crane to lift up the engine. So that crane is gonna last forever. I mean, I don't want to say it's irreplaceable. I'll find another one if I ever need to, but that was a good piece of equipment. So I'm gonna turn the lights on here. It's getting a little dark. As we patiently await the opening pitch of the Savannah Bananas, game against the firefighters. A lot of the best stuff they now auction on Goodwill auction. Okay, that's something I'm not aware of. I didn't know they had Goodwill auction. Oh yeah, thrifting. I guess there's possibly still the opportunity to do some reselling there. I wasn't doing thrift store reselling, but around this area there's auctions galore, and so there's always great estate sales. Again, if you know what stuff is worth, or even stuff that was given to me over the years, I was able to sell it for an infinite profit. So yeah, I mean, the thrift stores around here, they all have their charities, or they're run by a certain charity, so every donation is contributing to the finances of the charity, and every purchase, you know, keeps the charity afloat. But with auctions, it's all who can get the best deal and who can bid, who can make the right bid to make that purchase make sense. Because I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't been hosed on auction purchases. You know, not large ones, but I bought some duds at auctions. You get the thing and it doesn't even work, or it's inoperable, or it just turns out it was a piece of junk. But I've done pretty well on auction bidding. Sometimes I go a little crazy on stuff. I just really got to have it. So you need some discipline with auctions, because it's easy to get carried away. It's sort of like that dopamine hit you get from pulling the slots. It's like when you're in the heat of the bidding, and you got to win that item, right? You got to win at all costs, and sometimes there's a tendency to overbid. But yeah, I was always keeping an eye open for quality equipment and tools, and there's lots out there. Like, all those quality tools, they're sitting in sheds and garages and workshops, and eventually the owner of them either retires or passes on, and the estate, the widow, etc., they just call it an auction and say, get rid of all this stuff. And there's all kinds of great finds out there. So one of the online auction services that I use, or that it's a platform really, that there's an auction. It's about an hour, let's just say an hour and a half from here, but they have great items week after week, and they do a weekly auction. And the site that they use, the platform, is called iCollector, and I believe it's North America wide. So if you want to look into icollector.com and find local auctions to your area, and they have all kinds of auctions. Like there's equipment auctions here that don't use that platform, but some of these smaller auction houses, you might find one that's within a reasonable distance from yourself. I find it worthwhile to travel an hour or more to go find stuff if it's stuff that I'm going to use. I bought stuff from them that I didn't use. I thought I really needed it, but it turned out I just wanted it. So, but it's stuff that's sellable. So look up iCollector. Yes. and you could just search for, and there's coin collectors, antique or coin auctions, antique auctions, uh, some specialize in firearms, military collectibles, all kinds of neat stuff. So there go the tweaker farm or fisher people. They're gonna come say hi. Catch anything?
Yeah? You like jackfish?
Yeah.
I'll give them to you.
I don't like cleaning them. I don't need. How big were the jack?
I got them in the back of the truck. They're probably 12 inch. They're not great big ones. But they're...
Yeah, I was catching little pickerel down there all day.
Down here?
Oh, where you been?
Oh, yeah.
Were you in the creek?
No, we fish right in here.
Oh, okay.
They have trout in here also.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, well,
We have so many of them that...
I got so much food.
No, eh? Well, then we'll take them. We'll
pickerel in the creek.
Really? So where were you fishing on the creek here? Just here? Here?
And then, what did you come here often?
We are staying in their other campsite across the road.
Yeah.
We've been here since July 14th.
There's a couple of outhouses up at the top.
Yeah.
And you go into the creek where it's little shallow ponds and really every time.
Really?
They just got them from the sand.
That's perfect. Yeah, he's got well, this is stocked.
Okay.
And he's got rainbow trout in here. And he put in 300 rainbow trout. But before this got opened up, like way back in the late 80s, early 90s, this used to be just a gravel pit. So everybody would fish in here, and what they would do in the creek when they catch them, they'd toss them in here. So there's so many jackfish, and then he went and he put in his trout, and the jacks were eating up his trout. So he told us, like, we came here in July, and we've been here living in a tent across on the other side, and Danny said he's like, catch the jacks and just get rid of them. But there's also an otter that comes in. Yeah, he's in here somewhere. I'm not sure where he is. You seen it?
Well, not the otter, but the swimming.
Okay, yeah. And then he's got on across the road. I don't know if you've been up to the other campsite across the road. Okay. So they got another little lake in there that kind of comes out, wraps around, and this one's nicer. But there's also an otter in that one too, and they got trout in that one, and they've got those cormorants, I do believe it is, and they'll eat up the small fish like right quickly.
Yeah, see, I've been looking for the deeper pools in the creek. I've just been here since Sunday.
Okay.
I figured I'd give the creek a try.
Yeah. Down right at the road.
Yeah.
On this side of the road is not too bad. On that side it's kind of gross and all full of algae and stuff because the beavers, like we've been way back out behind and been way down along the creek, and it's just a little stream, so the beavers have it so backed up. But on this side, the water's actually come up quite a bit in the last few days even. Yeah. So I don't know if maybe a dam got opened up or something. So off of the road in that little pond by the culverts, that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about this spot here.
Oh, yeah. You like those little pickles? Just straight ahead to it's all kind of places to go.
Yeah. 3 in a row. And I told her, I'm like, just keep going. And then she fired out the next one, and it was like right there. And I got hers in. I cast it out, and it got me like about 2.5 feet off the shore. And that thing just jumped up, scooped it up. So I'm like, there's two. And then her reel messed up on us. We just bought the stupid thing, so it was brand new. And then, no, well, for the jacks, I'm just using spoons. And then the trouts, they're taking like a silver spoon. We caught 2 off with the silver spoon, but what we usually do is we'll jump in the paddle boat. Like the paddle boat's been messed up most of the summer, so I went and I fixed it because the rudder was gone. Somebody, I don't know what the heck happened to it. So I went and I fixed it up and I built a rudder for it so that we could actually go out. Because before you have to like take a stick and you just use it to kind of direct yourself as you're paddling along. And I built a rudder on it. And we went out one night and I think we caught a trout one night. The next night we went out and we caught another trout, because when you're from that little opening right here, just past the trees, from there all the way up, walking until about here, and kind of this, it is super deep. Like, it's really, really deep. The ends are not very deep, but yeah, they swim and you just kind of like fire it out, let it sink down, and then just slow it down. Yeah, that's neat to know about. See, it looks like an ooze. Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah. No, if you're getting them that good, that's pretty easy. Pickles. Yeah. Well, that's all the guy needs, right? A little bit of food in the belly. That pickles is freaking floaty out of the weeds over here, so they're dropping off up at the beach. And I help them relax. They're friends with my family and stuff. I remember I had my interest in keys, studying bedrooms and stuff. Yeah. Frank? Les. Nice to meet you. Oh yeah. Doing the BC thing or? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. It's a nice little area. Yeah. Yeah. Fun. We live in a tent, so it's like we gotta find something, and we gotta find something fast because the weather is not gonna hold out too much. You know, we got rain today, we got rain tomorrow, but the following week's supposed to be pretty decent. Yeah, we're still 20 degrees like throughout the day, and I think our coldest temperature that I seen was like 9 degrees. That's yeah. We went out. Her and I went and camped out, well, probably 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and we were up right along Lake Winnipeg, and that's a huge lake, and it gets cold up there. And we woke up the one morning, it was +2, but with the wind coming off that lake, I had frost on the windshield of my vehicle, and it was like, oh, I didn't even want to get out of the tent. And we just camped.
Yeah, I was gonna attempt if this was available. I got a bunch of stuff on the front floor to store. So
Yeah.
keep a bunch of stuff done.
Oh, I hear you. I got a 60-foot tarp, and I got it spread out across our campsite, and it was doing good. Everything was staying dry, and we've had a few bad storms here, like 3-4 inches of rain overnight. We were within 24 hours, and everything was good. And the one night we got one hell of a storm, and the wind come from the east, and that was the only side that we didn't have the best protection on, because that's where we kept everything. So it always usually comes from the west or the north, and it just soaked all our stuff. I was like, oh, like, yeah, it's trying, but whatever, you know. You just get up the next morning and make a fire, and carry on, and go to work, and just another day. We've done great. Pulled a lot of fish on. Lots of fish on that. So Danny, like Andrew's dad, he hooked up the fridge for us to use. Because I said to him, like, man, we can't afford to keep buying bags of ice and stuff like that to try to keep all our food full and everything. So he had an old refrigerator he put up beside his shop, plugged it in for us, it works. So we got the refrigerator, we got the freezer, so we can kind of stocking up on groceries or whatever we can get, you know. Buy pork bellies. I got a barbecue, so I smoke them in my barbecue for like 5-6 hours. Then I got lots of bacon, fish we got. And every other Wednesday, she comes into town. Somebody will usually give her a ride into town, because I'm going to work. And then hit up the food bank, get what you can there. You gotta do what you gotta do. Bloody grocery stores are stupid expensive. Who wants to spend $60 on two bloody steaks for one meal? You know, you can go. It is. Oh, it straight up is. It is. You know, you can go to the grocery store. They want $60 for 2 steaks, but you can go to a restaurant, order 2 steaks for 2 people, and get potatoes, like, you know, your baked potato, mashed potato, whatever, gravy and whatnot, and it'll cost you $80 for 2 people. So like, I don't get their fucking national. Huh? That's a place you don't want to be. No, I used to live there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's decent. That's decent. It's all about it. Yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. That's, yeah. So, are you looking for it?
I've got this book till Sunday. I'm probably gonna stay a few more days.
Yeah. You're just gonna run it on to the other side or keep it
No.
over here?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't talked about it.
Well, on the other side, oh, it's nice. It's quiet. Like right now, you're the only one on here. Nobody else is here, so you got the whole place to yourself, which is good. The other side, you've got at least the laundry facilities, but if you needed to use them, you could run over there and use them anyways.
Yeah.
The shower is nicer on that side. It's better than the one that's here, and the water on that side is least it's potable. This side, I don't think it is. Yeah. We just get the water from the other side out of the tap at the because they have that little welcome center there. Yeah. I boil the hell out of mine. I heat up. I got a little kettle type deal. Give her a. Yeah, well, it's either you're dancing on one foot or you're starting to like, oh shit, it's gonna dribble. I gotta go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Andrew. Well, Danny kind of owns. Well, I think Danny owns this side, and then him and Andrew are on the other side in partnership, and Andrew's buying that kind of out because Danny's getting to the age where it's hard for him to do everything, and then he's got Parkinson's, so he's getting like he shakes real bad, his legs shake, and then like his whole left side. Oh shit! This is Johanna, Deborah, Rebecca, and then I think it is Amos, and then Andrew. So they got 5 kids of their own, and then they took on a bunch of foster kids. Yeah, I've known them since in the 80s. Yeah. No, oh yeah, yeah. Well, he had his business. It was Pioneer Lawn Furnitures, and I bet you a lot of the stuff that that's here, that's furniture that he built. My parents have a kitchen table, all the chairs and stuff like that, and super beautiful furniture. But it's a lawn furniture. You can only sit your old ass on it for so and so long, and then you need cushions, right? But I worked from that was just I'm 51 now, and I go there and I work with summers for him or other guys are up there in the summer work and stuff like that. So he was around with that furniture stuff for a long time. A lot of his stuff is all in like the big lodges, the hunting, fishing, and stuff like that. He's got furniture all through them, all throughout Canada, down into the States, and then plus he did ministry for decades. Actually, I think it was Andrew that was saying today. I think he was doing ministry for like 40-some years, and they had church in Grunthal here, and then that one was there for a ton of years, and then from there, I think they moved just a little bit north up to I think Landmark area or something like that, and they started up a new church there. Yeah, no, this here used to be like just a gravel pit. Yeah, yeah. I remember coming here in like early 90s, and it wasn't this big. And this was our party spot. Like we were either partying in this pit, and back then I think it was called Brown's Pit, and then the one across the road was called Sandy's. And if there wasn't a party here, there was a party there, and it was just wild and bonfires and people swimming and oh yeah, yeah, yeah. and nobody bugged us back then. Oh, really? See, here we never did. Like, no, like, we never got bothered. We went into Grunthal one night, and I don't know, it was probably like 18, 19, somewhere around there. We went with my buddy's cart, and we loaded up his trunk full of firewood. His trunk was full, the lid was like sticking up, and then we stacked all the firewood on top of the wood, or on top of the trunk lid, up against the back of the windshield, and his car was just heaped in the ass end. We were coming out of Grunthal, and we were coming up the page strip there, and we got pulled over. We met a cop just up at the corner, and we're like, no, we're screwed. We had open liquor and everything in the vehicle. Cop's like, driver's license, registration. My buddy's like, yep, gives him everything. He's like, so where are you guys off to? He's like, we just went and picked up some firewood from my buddies, and we're headed home. We're gonna go have a fire for the evening. He's like, oh really? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, well I'll be right back because I'm gonna go run your license and everything. And we thought we were so screwed. The cop comes back to us. He's like, okay, your driver's is good, your registration is good. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, everybody at the gravel pit, they're sitting there, they're waiting for the firewood. You guys better get going. You know, they just, yeah, they never bothered us. Now it's completely different because you get so many freaking drug addicts, meth heads, and everybody's stealing everybody's shit. And it's like, you're messing up our lives, like, it's just pissed off. But unless you can take them all back and teach them a lesson, they're not going to stop. They'll just keep going. The cops will arrest them, they let them out half an hour later, and they're right back at it again. And it's like, no, I like that. My parents live in this area too. I know a lot of people out here, and they said, you know, you come to a point where, you know what, stay off my property. You come on my property, you want to mess around. You know? Yeah. Oh yeah. It's alright. Yeah. That's alright. The only thing I don't like about this area is when they start spreading all the pig shit out of the barns and stuff, because it stinks so damn bad. But other than that, like, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. 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 I work at the auction mart, so it's kind of like, yeah, no. About 4 weeks now. Oh yeah. No,
I like the work.
probably Michelle.
That's how I work.
Well, who's running it then?
Oh, Michelle was
Yeah. I think she's been there for like 14 years, is what she was saying already. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, that's what they just started doing now. So, but yeah. Yeah, that they do need to do because you got guys in there, you know, if they're making whatever, even 17, 18 bucks an hour, and you don't know how to handle cattle. I just come off of a feedlot where we had 12,000 head of I always carry a 5.5 foot bowl with me when I'm moving cattle around, and I can crack that sucker. I can snap wounded, I can snap hard. And it's like the other guys, they're sitting there and they're sitting on top of the fence. They don't even want to go after them. And it's like, well, you know, if you're just gonna sit on the fence all day, why aren't you? Like, I don't know that shit, right? And then they hired me on. I was there for 3 days. Guy that was, I don't know if he was supposed to be the full-time guy or what. He had to go way up north for a different job that he has. So he's there whenever he's there, and another that he has his other job. And they just dump everything on him. And they're like, we need all this done, we need this done, we need that done, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I'm like, okay, I can handle it. So I went at it and I did my best to get everything done. And it's like, I started well, I've got 2 paychecks now. So yeah, usually 4 weeks ago, if not 4.5 weeks ago. And I've been there every day. Every day. Saturdays, Sundays, I'll go in because there's nobody there to feed. So I would have to go in and there's fucking goats and sheep and whatnot in there. So I would go in for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it was, feed up, and then that's it. I'm out of there. And then last weekend I had the rodeo in Grunthal. So all the rough stock went to the feedlot or to the auction mart. Sorry, I was called feedlots. I've been on the feedlot for so long. All went to the auction mart, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, I got everything all set up Friday. They were coming in. Because you're gonna take off into my truck. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, for sure. Well, if you're gonna be around, we'll probably do that. I want to like to do the
Yes, I know you did some. You never know. What? Look, the is my favorite fish.
This is all along the creek. Dude, it's like
Well,
not
you
big, but
gotta turn my reel tomorrow because we wasted $50 on nothing.
oh yeah. If there's little ones in there, there's gotta be big ones
those
making
little
them.
ones, those little ones, you just gut him, put them in the frying pan. Oh yeah.
Oh, she's super good fish. He does all the cleaning of the fish.
Oh yeah.
I do the cooking.
Okay, I don't know.
Is this a meal? No.
Okay, good. Because
Oh, maybe you'll have to. Maybe I'll bring my guy by tomorrow and see.
you guys get along.
I got a Texas Seal. He's part blue heeler. Well, he's part blue heeler and part border collie. And he's just a big sucky. Yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
so is ours, but and then they won't get to play around.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Ours was a house trade and everything, so we always had him in the house, but now he has him on a chain at the campsite because I'm the one who goes do something on that side. Okay.
I knew he was lab. I seen him, I'm like, that's lab. But I just couldn't figure out why he's so white though. Loves the water?
Didn't go up around the water.
Oh, okay.
Didn't go in, but I was in the pond with the lake.
No, I
I want to go.
My dog.
No, when we come out,
Ooh,
no, when we come out here, it's just like in the water and
he's like 90 miles an hour running around and just swimming.
well, we
Your
haven't
dog
took,
in the water.
Possibly, yeah.
well, we
All
haven't
you
took
gotta
him since we sold the rent and the puppies.
Yeah. I had a female, and then we had a bunch of pups. And we left McGregor and we moved out here with all the pups and everything. It was such a big shit show living in a tent. And 5 frickin' dogs.
Oh, puppies
And
and that was too.
well, puppies and mans, you know. And I'm like, nope. So I started selling pups and we sold all of them. And then it got to like 300 a piece. Yeah. And then the mother, I sold her. She had most of her shots. She was still really booster shots with her pups. And I sold her with the other. She went to some people in Steinbach. He's a doctor or a university hospital.
That's just $1,000. No, he's doing super good and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, I miss her so much, but I'm glad I'm keeping her.
Yeah, she had her trained. She'd take a female. She'd be like, have a treat. They're like, oh. And then she'd take her walk. And then she just walked on her back. She was, her mother was purebred red heeler.
Okay,
And they're, see, like, sidetracked is what we did because.
yeah, now I can wait. Oh,
And
by the way,
then,
my hens are on. Yep. Nice meeting you. Thanks for
Sorry.
introducing us.
and then the male was, purebred blue heeler. So she was blue heeler and red heeler off of both purebreds. And she was tiny, but smart dogs. Oh, so smart. Even my male, like, I had him last weekend. I took him up to the auction mark. At the end of the day, I had to go check, make sure they had feed and stuff like that because of all the rodent stocking in there. And I had him on a leash, and he was doing good. He was following around. He'd, dip under the pen, look, and I'd just give him a yank, pull him back. And he got the hang of it, like, right quickly. So I just let him go, and he'll stay right beside me. And if he doesn't, I snap, I whistle, and he's like right back there. And I opened up one of the gates. I had to put some hay bales in for some of the bulls. I had to move them around. So I opened up the gate, pushed in 3 bulls, got them into the pen, got him back beside me, and the one bull beside me was going to turn around and he was going to come back out of the pen. And I hollered at the bull, and he just jumped right up at that bull. He got him right in the nose and just chased him right back into the corner. I was like, oh! And he's never really worked with cattle, so I was like, it's in the blood, like that's just, they know what they're supposed to do.
Well, Max is at the auction.
Yeah, yeah. As long as they give me the animals, they're not being stupid parts and that. Hey, give her right, but it's in them. They just know. Like, I grew up in border collies and stuff like that. My brothers they got blue healers, and my nephew's got blue healer, and it's like, maybe I'll get one. So I did. I got my mail. I drove probably about 8 hours north of Regina to go get him. And not it. I got him for free because he comes from my niece. It probably cost me like $500 to drive up there and back with my car at the time. Yeah, and I got to go for a visit, see some family, and then my female, I paid $350 for her. So it's nice to have a dog. doesn't complain back and just sits there and listens. Well, I'm gonna go drop off this inflatable wheelie and let her
Catch up with you another time.
go deflate in the washroom wherever she needs to be. And we'll probably see her around.
Absolutely.
All right, have a good evening.
Well, that was fun. See, there's still people here. You guys hear some of that? I'm back. I'm back. I wish I would have taken you guys up there. That was a good conversation. So yeah. Apparently this is stocked with trout, and there's Jack in there. Jack is northern pike. Also known as, the vernacular is a snake. So he had a couple little ones, maybe 14 inches. I wasn't. He offered them to me. I said, no, I've got too much food. I ain't gutting fish. Welcome in, Mr. Osgood. So how's that for content? A couple of tweakers talking in the dark. Well, people in the chat are wondering what the hell's going on. You heard that too? Okay. You heard the gas passing? You heard me taking a leak? No, there's fish in the lake, so some rainbow trout, but the jacks eat all the smaller fish, so. But these guys were looking for pickerel, and I told them where the pickerel are, so they were excited about that. So we'll check out the trout action another day. We'll get it set up so I can take you fishing with me. Just so that you know I'm not just telling fish tales. So yeah, this guy is a local. He's been here forever. Grew up in the area. So he had a lot to say. Those nice folks. They're tenting on the other side of the road where the main campground is. Yeah, Jack is northern pike. Freshwater pike. Because I know there's jackfish, saltwater jack. There's I think there's a saltwater pike as well. These are all freshwater. So they'll be back. They'll be back. They've been staying in the campground since July, they said. Tenting. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to be tenting too, but I had a bunch of stuff I didn't want to store at my neighbors, so kind of all my most useful possessions are here to survive, plus some extra stuff. But originally the weather was looking good that I was gonna just get a tenting site, and I think they're just like 100 yards away from here from the exploring I was doing today. But on a night like tonight, I wouldn't want to be tenting. It's just too soggy, too wet. Trout would make a nice dinner, yes, absolutely. Even northern pike. What we used to do with the small ones, like the big ones, you could fillet them. They got a lot of funky bones in them. It's hard to get a nice bonelet fillet out of a big pike. We also call them Jack for a nickname. Oh yeah, I must have said that. There's a question there. Jackfish, yeah. But the smaller one, or what would we do with, say, because a master angler or a trophy jack is probably going to be 42 inches, somewhere in that range. Like they become massive. There's another similar fish in northern Ontario. Oh, there's some in Manitoba as well called a muskellunge. And those can grow up to, I don't know what the world record is, but a 45-inch muskie is kind of a small one. But with the smaller ones, say you'd want to be filleting something like 7-8 pounds or bigger for a jack. And so a smaller one, if it was kind of too small to fillet, but it was still a nice size, we would just gut them and then make a tripod and hang them over the campfire and just kind of smoke it and barbecue it, you know, season it up and just hang it on this tripod and let it cook for a few hours. It's just, and then you just peel the flesh right off the bone, off the back of it. So that was one good way of doing those kind of in between size fish. You know, the tiny ones, like sometimes you get tiny ones that are just not even a foot long. You just toss them back. So these ones he had here, yeah, I wouldn't bother filleting them. I'd smoke them over a fire. But it's so soggy right now. I'm not even trying to build a fire tonight. It's not so cold that I need heat. It's plenty warm in this wooden tent that I'm staying in. But yeah, they've been tenting most of the summer into the fall here. Channel cats going to saltwater? Okay, yeah, there's some of those species, they just can kind of go back and forth. Salmon, another, we don't have salmon in this area, but where I'm heading out west, there's plenty of salmon. Those spawn in the freshwater creeks and streams, and they spend a lot of their time in the ocean as well, back and forth. So that's that. I found some new tweaker fishing folks here, tweaker tenters, and yeah, I've got this whole side to myself, other than the occasional person who comes crashing my turf and do some fishing, which is good. I mean, I kind of just want to be by myself here. But the occasional visitor, that's perfectly fine. On the other side, there's a lot more people, so that's where the majority of the people renting are staying. This resort has some sites on this side of the road, and then on the south side of the road, there's more facilities and more people over there. And there's laundry on site as well. Hopefully they got a garbage bin where I can throw my old clothes too. And there you have it. I'm surprised you guys all stuck around. That's funny. I thought you'd all be gone. I didn't want to spring it on. I was like, guess what? You're going to be on YouTube now. Nice people. Nice tweakers. So we got the nice tweakers around here. So if anybody was restreaming that, I'm gonna copyright strike you. So that was kind of a impromptu meetup with some new folks. Hooked into a 75-pound Chinook. Nice. I look forward to my lives too, Jody. So yeah, I haven't been fishing literally in, I'm gonna say, close to 20 years. We used to do that all the time when I was like in my early to mid 20s, and we'd go into the bush, like from Winnipeg, usually minimum 2 hours away, into Nopaming Park. It's fantastic lakes all through there, right off the highway. And yeah, we went after all kinds of amazing pickerel, and caught some nice jackfish up there. Met some really interesting tweakers in Nopaming Park, Bird Lake, Bird River Lodge, Osis Lake, Star Lake. There's some world-class tweakers that we ran into out there. That was in my young, wild, and crazy days. In my old, wild, and crazy days, I'm finding the toned down tweakers, not the crazy tweakers. Yeah, hit that like button. We got to feed the algorithm, people. Come on. Together we can do this. I don't want to be forced to construct a diaper mountain to get the algorithm to latch onto what I'm doing here. Welcome in, Mike's Trains. Long time no see. Changed your moniker a bit there. 1976 Mike's Trains, aka Mike number 2. So, okay, so this has turned into the What's the Matter You fishing story chat. Later that day, I caught a 33-pound one, horsed it in, didn't even unhook from the anchor. Wow. We got a fishing legend in the chat, folks. And he's got the #1 crown. Whew. And thank you for sharing this live. Appreciate it, Jody. And so these folks, they got some kind of blue heeler, red heeler cross. They're gonna bring around next time they come visit for Max to have a little playmate. And apparently that dog likes the water. I was in the water. I think I told you guys I was in the water the other day, and I just needed to freshen up because it was a hot, sweltering day, and I didn't feel like driving over to the shower facility, so I just hopped in the lake. And Max will go into the water up to his knees, and that's about it. But if he makes friends with this dog, and that dog loves the water, he'll probably start turning into a little fish himself. So Mike, I'm 4 miles away from my previous location. There's a campground, RV park, cabin rental facility called Green Acres RV and Cabins. So it's just, before I was on the northeast side of town, now I'm just south of town, and renting this A-frame cottage. Here, I'll give you a view of my new home. Should be able to see. That's basically a 12 by 20 foot wooden tent. Very cozy little place. I don't know how messy it is. The lights are off inside. So. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess, but just to give you an idea. 2 beds, all the junk in there. I got this table I brought from home is my little kitchen storage area, and we've got this chair was here. This chair I brought from home. That's my security blanket chair. And so there's I don't know if you can see, there's a propane grill here in the dark. Another little table I've got set up with water. Over there you can see, you can see there's a picnic table. You can just barely see the outline of the truck there. There's nice double lounging wooden chair. There's an outhouse just 20 feet away. So all the comforts and necessities I need. There's a creek out behind me and a lake in front of me. It's a sweet little place. So let's see here. So what's the matter, you? And the hook finally bent. I lost a fish. I screamed. So you had a festering session. Your your fiance at the time, 18 months, never heard you raise your voice. So she learned about what's the matter, you's fishing rage. It's getting a little chilly. So what happened to the fiance? Later that night, I saw the news story that just a few of those salmon, which hadn't been seen in 50 years, came through the lock. West Virginia, very nice. What's the matter with North Carolina? Some big sturgeon in Columbia and Willamette. But yeah, we as in me, haven't been doing very much fishing. And so it was neat. That old fishing pole that I've had since I was 18 years old still works fine. I got another one I bought when I was driving truck, just to have in the truck. I think I bought it at a truck stop, literally. Or I might have bought it at a hardware store here. I can't remember, but it was cheap. But it's a good little rig. Like I don't need the top of line fancy Babe Winkleman gear. I mean, oh, it's too hot. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a little chilly for my liking here today. Well, I'm feet are wet and just everything's soggy. And more rain on the way tomorrow. But it's going to be nice next week. Mid 70s, maybe low 80s. No, it'll be in the 70s next week, which is fine for September in my area. But yeah, when it's in the 90s, I'm not a fan. Unless you live on the lakefront A-frame, you just hop in the lake if it's getting too moist. But that was cool. I want to live in the mountains where it doesn't get that hot. Yeah, well, that's kind of my thing. Like, I wanted to live out west since I was just a wee little guy. Well, not that I'm a big gigantic guy now, but in my early 20s, I really had this drive to go live out there, and I kind of made it 75% of the way, and then I came back. And I should have been living out there 30 years ago. I just love the mountains. Canadian Rockies, oh, it is amazing. I've been all through the mountainous regions in the States. And there's some really nice areas, but the Canadian Rockies, just incomparable. Just raw, rugged beauty is just amazing. So yeah, we'll do some more live streams when we see the place in the daytime. Mic number 2. So you're the sturgeon tickler. Holy smokes! What's the matter? You could have been a pro fisherman from the sounds of it. Sturgeon, Chinook. There's sturgeon in this area as well. They're considered a protected species, so it's only catch and release. But yeah, there's some massive sturgeon in the province. Got an 8-footer in the Willamette. Never been out west. Fort Lewis, Washington. Oh, your brother was stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington. Said he loved it out there. Not sure exactly where Fort Lewis is, but even in the Coast Mountains and that whole area, fantastic part of the country in the Pacific Northwest. Lots of high desert up there too. Oh, near Tacoma. Okay, that's kind of high desert area. Similar to the Okanagan up in British Columbia. Lots of interesting climate zones through Alberta and southern British Columbia and Washington, Idaho, Montana, those areas. Just gorgeous. Absolutely fantastic. All right, what's going on here? What are we talking about now? So we've covered a farming blog, we did the cattle report, we did the fishing report, tweaking travel report. And Savannah Bananas take to the mound in 15 minutes. I don't know, there's something about those banana ball games. That's exciting baseball to me. So here's our sports portion of the travel blog. I just have gotten so much energy out of seeing those banana ball games. It's like a sports revolution. And I'm not a sports fan, but I don't see myself getting tired of watching that. Like, it is such quality athleticism and showmanship and entertainment for the whole family. Like, it's such wholesome entertainment. Like, you see the kids getting involved, the fans are completely engaged with everything that's going on in the field. Like, it is exciting. It's exciting sports. So shout out to Banana Ball and Jesse, whatever his last name is, for coming up with the concept. Like, it's just interesting. And the A-frame is amazing. Clash with Bow. Trade in your van for an A-frame. This is all I need. I could live out here. Good to see you, Badger. The Larata owns everything. Well, the Larata, that's redundant. La means the, right? Yeah, I just said the rat owns everything. So it's kind of more nonsense here. But yeah, the A-frame is fine. This is great. I need to look into doing this on a permanent basis. The fishing's been fine. The weather not so fine, but we're doing okay. Max is doing fine. He's been having a ball. He goes with me wherever I go. Everybody loves him. He makes instant friends. Never been happier, right, Mackie? He's KO'd. He's had a day. He'll sleep good tonight. He didn't even have supper yet. Or did he? Did I feed you? No, I just gave him a snack. I was gonna feed him after the live stream, but I didn't realize we'd be going on this long. But he's got enough calories on his carcass that he doesn't need to be fed again today. So he's had snacks. I wish instead of 8 years at university, I would have concentrated on becoming a pro fisherman. Yeah, still time. I had to pick up a dead dog today. Eee. Struck by a train and I pulled his body off the tracks. Well, shout out to Mike for doing the job that nobody else wants to do. But that sound you hear is my stomach growling, so it's time to heat up that leftover pho, courtesy of Banh Mi King. Shout out to the fine Vietnamese folks in St. Pierre, Manitoba, the Nguyen family, for their fantastic subs, noodle bowls, spring rolls, and pho. Beautiful people. They love me too. Oh, you come back, yeah. You pay now. Never heard of banana ball? Well, tonight's your night, man. In 9 more minutes, we're going to be tuning into the Savannah Bananas, and you guys are on your own. I don't know whose dog it was, but it broke my heart. So do you work for a railroad, or were you just around the tracks, or what? But yeah, that's sad. Doggo run over. Just a rail fan. Okay. Making the content. There you go. There's some content for you to restream, Bao. Some train tweaking. And everybody watch for Wasamatayu's fishing channel. So you can be a pro bass. Watch too much music contests. You could be a bass fisherman on YouTube. Monetize that shit. Get Bao to restream you. Not time for me, destitute, sickly, toxic father. Gave away a $30,000 boat because he didn't believe you were ill. No chance now. No. We're pulling for you, buddy. We'll grab yourself a $25 rod and go down to the creek. Start start nailing them, whatever it is your fish you got there. Where do you watch Banana Ball? On YouTube. Just search Savannah Bananas and you're in. Well, let's see here. Let's find the link. We'll put the Banana Ball link in here. Oh, they got the countdown going. Okay, let's see here. Here, I'll do all the heavy lifting for you. I watch pretty much everything on YouTube. Yeah, well, that's the place to watch stuff. Here is where you find Banana Ball, at that link. I haven't had TV or basic cable since 2000, and I'm getting a low battery on my phone. Let me go. I don't know if I have a power pack ready to go. I have a power pack. I don't know if I have a cord ready to go. Let's see what I can find. Let's power this live stream up. Okay, this cord only goes in one way here. Yeah, no. I'll turn this on. Might have it in backwards. Nothing. Plugged in. Come on. Let me grab my other cord from the truck. Be right back. Time to retire that cord. It's been rode hard and put away wet, so they say, or as the saying goes. Let's see if this works. Maybe that one was working. I can't tell. Whatever. If the stream ends, it means none of my charging devices are charging. You were 4 to 5 minutes behind in the video? Okay. Well. Yeah, YouTube is the place to spend your life, I guess. It's where you watch everything. That's pretty much. This is pretty much where I live, in this cesspool, as it's been described. So welcome to my little corner of the cesspool. Bananas are 6 minutes and 25 seconds away from taking the field. Justin Garza still in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Always with the emotes. Yeah, I gotta get those member emo. I gotta start working on those emotes for you guys. The censored cesspool. I guess so, but I don't know. If you're doing stuff like I'm doing, like, I don't know, maybe you could draw more attention to yourself where you're getting censored, but I don't think it's been an issue. I said pretty much whatever I wanted to say here. I mean, I censor myself in that certain private information I don't share with the world, but that's me censoring. But I don't know what. I haven't encountered a lot of uh, that kind of stuff with YouTube. It seems like most of the comments I make, some of them are somewhat edgy if I'm in someone else's chat, and they seem to go through. I mean, I haven't said anything I regret or would retract. Some of it's kind of borderline edgy slash censorable, but I haven't found much of a problem. I mean, I guess a few years back there were certain things that automatically got flagged, but now you can talk about all that shit anyway. Well, that's the thing. What's the matter? You auditors, anti-government, paranormal, cryptid. I'm I'm seeing all that content. Like, it's not being hidden from me. So I can look that stuff up. And this is kind of almost this, not the psyop, but it's like if if anti-government content or rhetoric were verboten or forbidden, you wouldn't see any of these auditor channels or anti-government channels, but they're all here. Everybody's saying what they want about the law and all kinds of whacked out stuff. And it's like YouTube just lets it go. Like, it was back during COVID days when you couldn't talk about certain things. Yeah, you say I'm incorrect, but I'm not trying to argue. It's just my experience has been I'm able to find the content. If certain stuff is being hidden from me, I guess I'm unaware of what's hidden because it's hidden. But really, I don't see a lot of stuff getting removed or taken down because of YouTube policy violations. It's more like the YouTube bloodsport, internet blood sports kind of thing, where one content creator goes after another content creator. And demonetization. Okay, well, I'd have to look into those creators and see what their content is that's causing the demonetization. I guess that could be an issue. It's just I'm not discouraged by demonetizing and shadow banning. Yeah, like it's you're most likely correct. It's just I haven't been following anybody that seems to be struggling in that area. So let's put it that way. So I'm not saying there's nobody that is struggling in that area, but that that hasn't been an issue that's coming up with some of the content creators I'm watching where they're complaining about being shadow banned for that. It's some of the more political leaning channels where they're talking about certain issues that the mainstream outlets, they want the monopoly on that content to control the narrative, and so you can't talk about immigration or this or that. You can't talk about Like what's a good example? Like LGBTQ or trans stuff. And it's like, I'm not going to be talking about that stuff other than I'm just going to mock the narrative, not mock or not provide commentary on the actual issue. It's more looking at what the mainstream is saying and just pointing out the bullshit or pointing out the emperor has no clothes. Thinker Thunker did nothing wrong except prove Sasquatch exists using reproducible mathematical measurements, and they demonetized him. He's still on YouTube, but he had to pay through Patreon. Okay, I don't know Thinker Thunker. I'll look him up. And I guess that's the thing too. Like, there's alternatives, like that strategy. Just open the Patreon, and then have people pay for memberships or content that way. So it's like there's workarounds. It's a pain in the ass. You'd think in a capitalist Silicon Valley sense, they would be eager to grab the ad revenue that they could derive from Thinker Thunker or whatever content creator. I'm kind of new to the YouTube cesspool and the politics within YouTube that dictate their terms of service and policies and whatnot. And but it doesn't really affect me. Like I'm not monetized. This is still not even a tiny channel. It's a micro channel. So whatever. Like, shadow ban me. Who cares? I'm still gonna do this. But my motivation is not to necessarily derive an income from this at this point. So so we'll see. But even folks like Andy Edwards, who's a music content creator, music commentary and that kind of thing, like he's been running into issues for things he says on his music channel that people don't want to hear on a music channel. So he opened up a politics channel and other kind of social criticism, social commentary channels, and it's like, yeah, that kind of goes with the territory, but that's more the viewership, subscribership challenging his content, not YouTube. And so, but he's got a Patreon, he's got other platforms that he utilizes to make up for whatever shortfall that he would lose from YouTube as a result of saying what he wants to say to an audience that may not necessarily want to hear what he has to say. That's important to say, but it's just on his channel. People are expecting the music content. So I guess that's a challenge. That's why I've said on this channel, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get a soggy dog, you're going to get fishing, you're going to get farming, you're going to get who knows what. I don't know what. I don't know what I'm going to do day by day. So you're just going to follow me on whatever I'm doing. So that's what's happening here. Now let me guess. Bananas have a rain delay, or what's happening? What's going on? Must be a rain delay. Oh, let's see. Let's just refresh. Is there a banana ball happening? Oh, banana ball is happening. They're in the top of the first. So, with that, the timer has run out on this live stream. We're at, gosh darn, 165 minutes into this. That's almost 3 hours. So, good golly, good gosh. So this has become a Sasquatch channel. So there you go. With that, I think we'll say goodnight. Happy banana balling to all of you. I'm going to watch the banana ball game. Yeah, I'd say so. So I'll see you over on the Savannah Bananas YouTube channel. I don't comment there. I just watch the baseball or watch the banana ball. So we'll do this again tomorrow at some point. At some point, we'll do this tomorrow. So thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful evening. Good night, all.